He's asleep. Oh, yeah. He's just walking up. He's walking up.
Previously on Jim Shockey's Uncharted.
The Karakoram Highway is one of the most dangerous highways in the world. A rock can come down off the cliff right in front of you, or on you, even knock you over the edge, and it's 1,000 feet straight down. This is a very important thing for the conservation of their Markhors in these mountains.
From that money, 80% goes to the community, 20% goes to the government.
One of the greatest conservation success stories in the world. Tomorrow morning, start climbing up into the back end of the valley. They've cut the trail into the side of the cliffs. It's straight down, one misstep and you're gone. We've made it to Camp 1, and I can't imagine what it's going to be like getting up to Camp 2. It's pouring rain. Bottom line is, we're not going anywhere right now. The weather is finally breaking. We're going to give it a couple more hours, and then we're going to go up. On the road finally after 3 days in base camp. Now it's straight up to camp number 2. Climbed up into the fog, and it's going to be impossible to hunt in this pea soup. The trail is getting steeper and steeper, rockier. You just have to watch every single step. These guys are incredible how tough they are carrying the loads. Malik is older than me by 5 years. Now that we could actually see a Markhor. So Malik has gone ahead just to check around the corner. We don't want to bump into him with our whole troop. I don't think we'll be that lucky to see him that quick, and I kind of don't want to anyway, but just in case, we have to be very careful. Steep spot. It's pretty hairy. I mean, you don't want to even look over the back edge. And the rocks are so slippery. The greater danger is even pulling on one that comes loose and you dump down a 200-pound rock onto everybody down below. You just have to be so careful. And now we're headed into some even steeper stuff, it looks like. Been climbing almost 5 hours steady. We're up that high now that we've hit snow. Normally when you go higher up a mountain, you get into less forest, and I'm sure we do eventually, but this is heavily timbered here now. Everyone was hoping this morning the weather would break for us this afternoon, and it hasn't. It's raining hard now. This is exactly what we didn't want. Fog. It's not possible to hunt in this stuff. but we're almost at camp number 2, so darn weather. And there's nothing you can do about it. It's just part of the hunt anywhere around the world, especially when you're hunting in the mountains. We made it to camp 2, perched right on the edge of a cliff in this forest. We didn't want it to rain, but it did. Everybody's soaking wet. We're gonna be warm in a little bit, thank goodness. It's pretty cold. It's really important now to get heat, because unless we change our clothes right away, getting something dry, we'll start to get the beginnings of hypothermia setting in. The guys already have a fire going.
You're the first hunter to stay in the hut.
First hunter in here?
Yeah.
Oh.
They built it this year. Normally they spending night in the tents.
Yeah, this is nicer than a tent. We're here, camp number 2. Nice place. Nice place. The fighting seal. We're warm, we're dry, we've got dirt floors, adobe walls, lots of dust. But you know what? When you've got everything you could ever want in the way of comforts and amenities, how can you appreciate those gifts without ever knowing this? You know, we're going to be cooking our own food on this wood stove with your only light being a burning oil rag. It's difficult to go back to that. But if you do, and every hunter does, you really begin to appreciate and understand how fortunate we are to have those comforts that most of the world doesn't have. And that's what hunting gives you, is perspective. Gives you perspective. This is the goat from yesterday that they butchered up, and it's the best bits and pieces too. That's liver. This piece is part of the heart. A chunk of kidneys right there. These are the fanciest pieces off the goat, so they're treating us pretty well with the meat for sure. This is a type of a lentil, but it's not a lentil, they call it dal. They've got vegepatis and vegetables that were dried, that they rehydrated. Fantastic. This is a feast. It's a feast. I can count 4, 2 small ones and 1 medium one and 1 really old one. That's the one we're after. They're just starting to work their way down now. It's incredible. They're walking on sure faces as they work their way downhill. And you can see sometimes they start to go and then they back off and try a different road. It's that steep for them. I just don't know how we're gonna get close enough. They're about 800 yards right now, maybe more, maybe 900. They've got to come a long way down through a lot of forest before they're going to be in range. Holy smokes. Where? Same place, just down below. Okay, yeah. The fighting seal? Yeah. That's crazy. The oldest one is actually climbed up the tree and it's eating from inside into the branches. Amazing. They're just starting to work their way down now. How do we hunt that? good news and some bad news. The good news is we've spotted the Markhor, including one really old Markhor. Magnificent animals in such a incredibly spectacular place. It looked like it was going to clear and lift and we'd be able to make a stalk on them once they started feeding down. And exactly when they stood up and started to work their way down, it started snowing and now it's socked right in. There's nothing we can do until the weather gives us a break. So we just put in more time. Just wait. It's about 10 after 4 in the morning. Getting the fire going. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. I can see stars outside through the door. At this point now, the biggest worry, of course, is that if we bump into them on the way up, that will spook them out of the country, and this isn't country that you can easily go find them again. In fact, it would be impossible. So we just have to make every move perfectly. Fingers are crossed, fingers are crossed. We have to go.
Spectacular. Steeped in history. No place in the world is like this. It's so beautiful. We're getting cliffed out. We're trying to get to the top and over, but we can't do it. To get up this chimney. See him? We have to get up this chimney. He's gonna free climb it first, then throw the rope down, I think. I thought you said it wasn't going to be steep. If that's what we have to do, that's what we have to do. Holy smokes, that was horribly steep. We can't go down this way. I think the worst part is we don't know what's around this next corner. It could be worse. And then we have to go back down the same way. That's all part of hunting. You have no idea what challenges await you every time you wake up in the morning. You have no idea what fears you'll have to face. Matt made it as well to this point.
450, and he's climbing away. I had to count my smoke back. See him? Yeah. Okay, just wait, just wait. Oh, yeah, he's just walking up. He's walking up. $450, and he's climbing away. Okay. Oh, yeah, he's just walking up. He's walking up. What happened?
He's dead?
He's dead? Dead?
Knife.
Nice.
जबरदस्त
तो अभी बताना भी हमारा फर्ज है ना
या फिर ना फ्लोर पर या चिली
They better.
चिली मुझे आखिर वक्त या पीरी करते हुए
Okay, little. Small. You're gonna go over there? Okay. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
Good.
Holy smokes. This is where I had to shoot from right here. I'm just looking down and going, my goodness sakes. If I had to do it again, I don't know that I would. If I slipped, it's probably 500 feet and then another couple thousand if I bounce. Markhor. Kashmir Markhor is possibly the greatest big game animal in the world. That was my shot, 460 yards. Thank you, Nosler, for the gun and for the bullet, and Loophole for the scope. Malik, I'm handing my gun back to Malik. Letting someone carry my gun just isn't something I ever do. But Malik, he's the big boss. For him to carry my gun is a sign of respect that I trust Malik enough to let him carry my gun. Malik,
Congratulations.
thank you.
Thank you.
He says how to close the knife.
Oh, how to close it? The guys borrowed my Avalon knife to do the halal. They went running over there because they have to get it technically while the heart's still beating for it to be halal. The problem is they don't know how to close it. They got it open, but they don't know about the little spring that holds the blade in place. So they were screaming across here, how do they close the knife? And you do not want to be going down those cliffs with a blade open. And we're not going to go over there. And there's only been 2 times in my life where I haven't been able to get over to recover the animal, but this is one of the 2 times. They'll bring it down to a lower level where we can get to it. Now it's the part that Ed Viesturs, the American mountaineer, said, getting to the top is optional, getting down is mandatory. So we're now on the mandatory part. The snow was frozen when we came up and now it's starting to melt, so this hunt is a long way from being over. This is deep. As we're making our way down, I have a few minutes now to think about, reflect on what we've just done in terms of my own quests and goals and accomplishments. This could be the high point of my hunting career, the culmination of all of that effort, all that time, all of that practicing. It all came down to that one shot, 460 yards, much further than I think I've ever shot anything in my life, after a more difficult and dangerous climb than I've done in my life. Amazing hunt. Amazing hunt. We get up here. How do we hunt that? In fact, we came above them and came down on top of them, but we just caught them this morning. Just caught them as they were going over the next ridge, and goodbye. They'd have been gone. That was a shot. Holy. Holy. Hey, that's good, guys. Thank you. You guys, amazing. Whoa. Go and then all they're done. That's, these guys are the toughest. Look at running shoes. What? Tough guys. Good. I would help, but there's already 6 guys helping moving this Markhor.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
These Markhor, these incredible animals, are only here because of Malik and his village of Kigah in Kurdistan, looking after them, shepherding them. This is their flock. These are their animals, their herd. WWF actually came in here, World Wildlife Fund, told the villagers that if they brought trophy hunters in, one a year, carefully managed by biologists, pay the villagers so that they can make hospitals, they can educate the children's schools, build the roads. The economy of wildlife management, it works in this place, Kigah, huge success in Kurdistan and Pakistan. It should be going on all over the world. We want more wildlife in this world. We want it here forever, as long as there's human beings. We want there to be wildlife, majestic and magnificent up on the hills. The economy of wildlife management, it's the future of wildlife, the only hope they have. Malik, thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you so much. Thank you. And thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bashir, the chef. And thank you so much. Ghulam Shah, our translator and our man that's with us the whole time. This is an important part of hunting. Providing for your family, providing meat for the village. Most people never have to see this. They buy their hamburger in the store already ground up. But to turn that animal into hamburger, somebody had to do the skinning. It's an important skill to have as a hunter as well. You can't count on everybody else. You're often on your own, and in a case like this where you can't get the animal back to a place to hang it and skin it, then you have to do it in the field. So this is what we're doing right now. Starting the downhill part to the first camp. We're still a long way from being safe and sound at camp number 2. We're a long way from home free. You want to be careful on every single step. This is a long way from help. You don't call a helicopter or ambulance here. Thank you so much. Thank you. Made it back to Camp 2. We'll be heading down to Camp 1 now. The guys are loaded up heavy, because we've got all our gear that we brought up. It's pretty much a trail. I mean, it's a steep trail, but it's a trail all the way back to Kigah. Number 1, we were at the top of the mountain earlier today, got the Markhor, and came all the way back down to this camp. It may not be pretty to everybody watching, but to us, this place is a castle right now. How you doing? Thank you. We did it. And you know, the mountains are already fogged in. If we wouldn't have got this Markhor today, we might have to wait till summer. Thinking tonight there's going to be a little dancing, a little singing. And one thing I know, we're going to eat like kings. We've got the Markhor. It's going to use up a lot of Markhor meat just feeding this crew right here. People don't understand how important pictures are of the animals. They think that taking trophy photos is about ego, and all these gentlemen are part of this hunt. It's not a trophy per se for them, but they want the photos. Why? Because it's a memory. It was a quest that we set for ourselves. We accomplished it as a team. In the ancient times, we would paint on walls. Now we can take photographs. So this is perfectly normal to take pictures with an animal after a hunt. This is part of it. This is part of the celebration, part of the joy, and I'm proud to be a hunter right now. Proud to be a hunter. These mountains are caving in all around us right now. You may be curious what I'm doing cutting up this perfectly fine garbage bag. If you're ever dumb enough to forget your rain gear going into a mountain hunt, then you have to improvise. Of course, no one's probably dumb enough to forget their rain gear, especially after hunting for like 50 years in a row and knowing that it rains in mountains. Plus it's raining. What do you think? I got a burqa. I need somebody to cut my arms because I can't. Not too, make sure it's got to be not too big a hole, and I'll put my arm all through. My baby is born. I mean, after all these years, how could I forget my rain gear on a mountain hunt? Seriously. Thank goodness this is the last day and we have to try and get out. That's how big you think my arms are? Yes. It's like, like seriously, look at this. This. Good. Let's see if it fits. Oh, it does. That's pretty embarrassing, actually.
Ya Allah Teala
Let's prepare to get us down safely. Creeks that we cross coming up are going to be raging torrents coming back down. Plus now there's the rock slide possibilities here.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
We crossed across here coming up a few days ago. No problem. Now it's a raging torrent. Bad deal.
You like my rain gear? Nice, eh? We stopped for a break. They went as fast as they could through this last section. Every one of them was on edge. You could see, like, jumping whenever they heard a rock fall above us. The mountainsides are loosening up because of all the rain, and rocks are starting to come down. We'll hear the rumble up above us, and you know it's rock slide somewhere way up on the hills, but you don't know what's coming down. You don't know if the rock's going to bounce out and start. Rain coming down hard now. The creek is swollen right up to almost over its banks. Look dumb with this garbage bag on my head, but I'm actually really happy I'm wearing it. Even our trail is covered in water now, washing the trail away in spots. We're going as fast as we can through most of the dangerous spots, not slowing down for anything. Places that we crossed easily before are now really dangerous. Could be worse. We could still be up on top. My worry now is not just the objective dangers on this trail, but the Karakoram Highway will be suffering as well because of this heavy, heavy rain and snow up high. We're a long way from home free. These mountains are caving in all around us right now. Holy smokes. A bunch of rock, half the size of a car, the first one, came down the mountain. There's somewhere where guys took the bottom route. 30 seconds before, they'd have been dead. Pure luck. You have no control over that. We're back in the village of Kigah. It was so close. Nobody got hurt though. We're good to this point. We're back at Malik's house. What a journey it's been, and we're not done. Now we'll hopefully get dried off in here, get our civilian clothes on. Then we have to head down to Karakoram towards Islamabad. A boulder the size of a house just came down with a whole pile of other rocks the size of cars right across from Kigah, the village. We have to get on the Karakoram as soon as possible and start getting out of here because these mountains are caving in all around us right now. This is it. We're on the Karakoram Highway, headed to Islamabad. Nightmare so far. Slides, rocks on the road, traffic coming straight at us. Now we're hitting banks of fog every half mile or so. We got to get out of here. We have to get out to the flat country, out of the Himalayas.